That's the test cough. And so we're getting scarily close to a nibble time here, and about nearly 12 o'clock, midday, 22 February 2025 as second video for today. And what we've got here is the pie. Now, this may be a live chassis. It's got the sealed on back. Now, we had a Phillips the other day, didn't we, that had a live chassis. I haven't had the back off yet. I looked through the holes, no obvious dead mouse in there or anything like that. We've looked at the cable and the plug for any obvious faults. We've got our RCD, LCB, GFCI safety switch. Please invent a fifth name for the same device. We'll turn that on at the safety switch. We'll turn the radio on. Now, we've earlier done the with our dim bulb tester. We gave it a few minutes on the 15 watt bulb. It must be the old style non-energy efficient tungsten type bulb, because we're counting on the resistance of it. I guess once all the bulbs are taken away by governments, we'll have to make use of some wire round resistors or something. But a few minutes on the 15 watt bulb, a few minutes on the 25 watt bulb, and then we've got the 40 watt bulb. It's on the restricted or the low power setting. That's showing our mains voltage there, 230 something today here. Typical volume control combined with the on off switch. The bulb flares initially and then dims, running about 160, 165 volts there. Sometimes that'll be enough once it's warmed up to give you a bit of sound and crackles coming through, or background music, and very much in the background. But quite a nice little unit, these. Sort of a brown dark bakelite with the cream off-white face. You can see this oval speaker cutout, or a profile for the speaker behind the grill there. Alright, that's alright. Obviously we're listening for any kind of problems, smoke. A tiny bit of burning smell is acceptable because it can be a wee bit of dust, and as the valves and other components warm up, that just starts to a tiny bit of burning smell for a short time is acceptable. Right, we'll go up to full power. It's taking a while to warm up, given it was half warm anyway.
The word Pakistan removed from the little logo in the top left-hand corner, which said 2025 Champions Trophy, Pakistan. They removed Pakistan, which is unbelievable. It's not even funny.
Now,
23 away from 12 o'clock. That was swinging both ways. A good look.
As with other radios, the volume control's very dicey there.
Stay with us. Plenty more to come as we roll through to one.
Sport Nation.
Partner up with New Zealand football in 2025. Next year's FIFA World Cup will be massive. 48 countries across 3 host nations, and New Zealand are vying for a spot through the Oceania qualifiers. We remember 2010, but it's time to get back on the world stage and make new memories. Follow the All Whites on the road to World Cup history. Live every moment. Tickets at ticketek.co.nz and subscribe to...
At Ticketek, wherever you are in the world, they own everything. That volume control's very, very dicey. We're getting a lot of hum there and crackles. There's almost certainly, if you wanted it, this to be perfect, people always say do the capacitors first and probably the resistors second, but it's fundamentally going.
Geocoat exterior plastering, solutions for every project. Learn more at geocoat.co.nz.
Hey, Toyota.
Oh, Geocoat exterior plastering. Here you go. So yeah, the volume control's a bit dicey. Not a huge amount of volume, and I was tuning around the dial earlier, and I was careful to try to go a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit forward, a little bit back, just to not run it right up against one end and get stuck. And it was getting even we've got a couple of weak stations here, a community station, a couple of Christian stations, coming in very weakly. Now, of course, this is a 4-valve radio, and of course that was the compromise of having only 4 valves instead of 5s.
Go to 6 on all your summer DIY projects. They have all the expertise you could shake a rake at.
Oh, they've got all the expertise you could shake a rake at. That's good to know. Right, so here we go. Anyway, the Pi, 1953, they reckon. This is called the Model Y, PZ-43 Model Y. The same chassis was used in several different cases. But yeah, it goes. Capacitors and resistors have probably really fixed it up better, but I think it's always going to have the compromise of the 4-valve radios. Was a cheaper radio for people in town, close to transmitter. You're right. If you're in the country, you really needed the 5-valve radio. Yeah, because they've got the your second valve along EBF80 in these. EBF80, Echo Bravo Foxtrot 80, and that's working as the IF, it's working as a detector, it's working as the AGC. I think I read somewhere it's a double diode or something valve, and it's the initial part of the audio frequency amplifier, so it does the first bit of it. It does have the EL41 as your speaker amplifier valve at the end. So yeah, a 4-valve radio with the limitations that we know to expect from them.
Tap and go. Cygnet power banks. Find them in store at Noel Leeming, JB Hi-Fi, or Harvey Norman.
Winner-worthy deals have kicked off at Chemist Warehouse like Manuka Health.
Ooh, Chemist Warehouse. Righto, folks. Well, I've had as much thrills out of this as I can. I'll make a note there. It's sort of fundamentally going. We'll go back down to low power. Now that's interesting. I wonder if it's developed a fault, because that is brighter than it was and the voltage is much less. Voltage is less means that there's... now it's going up again. That just indicates things are taking power and not taking power, doesn't it? Yeah, it's dimming down. Yeah, I think capacitors. I think... but it's fundamentally going, so we'll make a note about that on this one, that it got the stronger stations acceptably, but I think it definitely needs capacitors, possibly resistors. Yeah, the limitation of having only 4 valves do everything, and of course one of them is your rectifier valve. So it's only a 3-valve radio for the actual part of the radio yeah, but a neat little radio. We will actually completely turn off the safety switch and we will unplug it. Because if we're holding a plug in our hands, we know it's unplugged and safe. Someone has had the back off before. Well, I mean, it's 1953-ish. So what's that? Over 70 years old now, is it? One of the screws is missing, and these are a bit loose. This one's loose. Yeah. So at least one of the valves is a bit weak. And or it would benefit from capacitors and resistors. Capacitors being replaced. Certainly, but it's a nice wee mantle radio. In 1953, a family would have been very happy to have that. Did I find a price for it? No, I didn't. Probably something in the region of about £15, New Zealand pounds at the time, which would have been a great deal of money back then. People finance these on what they call hire purchase or payments, and you would have been very happy if you had one of those in your lounge or your living room. Alright folks, that's all. I'll get this video going. Cheerio.